Hi, you guys. It's Sunday morning. How's everyone doing? I'm so tired and drinking my coffee. So I wanted to jump on and just put my makeup on with you. Just do a really, really quick makeup. I mean, well, it's not going to be really quick because you know how I like to babble, but so many of you guys have been asking questions about oily skin and about different things when you're putting on your makeup, especially when working with cream makeup, which is what I use. I use mascara cream makeup and I absolutely love it. And I'm going to transform from scary to hopefully gorgeous. So what I did was I just cleansed and I toned and I did my light moisturizer and I have my SPF on. And I've talked about this one before. This is the CeraVe. This is the ultra light moisturizing lotion, and it's actually made for normal to oily skins with a broad spectrum of SPF 30. Now, I'm not necessarily oily, however, I sometimes like to buy SPFs that are made for oily skin because that means that they're very, very lightweight. It usually means that they don't have non-chemical sunscreens in them. They're usually chemical sunscreens, but you know, you kind of have to pick your battles. If you want a really, really lightweight SPF, you usually have to go chemical. So this one is actually really, really nice because there's skincare benefits in it, and hyaluronic acid and niacinamide. I always say that wrong, but it's basically like a peptide and collagen rebuilder of the skin. And for a drugstore brand, it's really good. 15 bucks. I mean, you can't go wrong. So that's been one of my favorites this summer. So I put that all over after my cleansing and moisturizing routine, and I've had it soaking in for a good 20 minutes, I would say, because one thing I wanted to share with you guys is a lot of you guys talk to me about feeling oily a lot with whatever makeup you're using, and you're feeling like your makeup is sliding off midday and you don't know what to do. And I talked about this in my video last week, and if you're interested, it's got some really good tips about oily skins and how to make your makeup last for oily skin. But I will say that just if you're doing layers, make sure that you're doing light layers of skincare and you're allowing significant dry time between the layers, at least 5 to 10 minutes if you can get away with that. I know some of you guys are really busy and quick and in a rush while you're getting ready, and that's totally fine. But maybe start your skincare before you even say do your hair or brush your teeth or something. So, you know, put a layer on and then brush your teeth and do something else for 5 minutes while you're waiting for that layer to dry down. Just a little bit of time, at least 5 to 10 minutes in between skincare layers, is going to help a lot too with that really thick feeling, because your skin really has to absorb product before you start piling more stuff on top of it. So I've done the CeraVe Ultralight Moisturizing Lotion. It's been on there for about 20 minutes. So now I'm going to take my makeup, and what I'm going to do today is just a simple hack technique, a highlight and contour technique that is really easy. So this is my mascara cream palette that I'm using right now, and I'm not really self-tanning right now. I haven't for the last 2 weeks, so I'm getting a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna take Aura, this color here, and White Peach, and kind of do a little bit of a quick blend with those two colors. And I'll show you where I put them on. I've kind of pulled my bangs back here so you guys can see, but I take my 30-second hack brush and I just really lightly dip in those two colors. And where you want to start with your highlight, you guys, is highlight goes center of face, okay? Center of face, chin, and I'm usually pretty red under my nose, so a little bit on the nose, here along the jawline, and it's really light. You're not doing like crazy blending right now. You're just basically placing the product. And remember, you want your brushes to be clean, especially when you're dipping into cream makeup, because if you've got dirty bristles dipping into more creamy type emollient makeups, it just gets all gunky and it's not clean. So I do a spray brush cleaner in between makeup applications, and then once a week I'll take a makeup brush, like a brush shampoo. If you've got like a baby shampoo, that's usually fine. You could do that too. The one I use is from Beauty Blender. I really like it. It smells really good and it's antibacterial. So what I've done for my highlight, you guys, is, so these are my two main foundation colors, and in mascara they're called highlight. So I've applied forehead all the way down the nose, bottom sides of the nose, here in kind of like that V, that kind of triangle of light underneath your eye, right? Chin, along the jawline here. Okay, and then now I'm gonna flip the brush over, and before I do any blending, I'm gonna pull out my contour shade. So this is my contour shade that I'm using now. It's called Ash. So I dip that more pointy ends of the brush, and you wanna feel for your cheekbone, right where your cheekbone kind of curves is where you wanna place your contour. And if that looks kind of scary right now, don't really be alarmed, because you're really gonna blend this. You're gonna blend this a little bit later, but this is just for placement, so you guys see what you're doing, okay? And you don't wanna put your contour like down here, because then you'll kind of look like Skeletor a little bit. So kind of like up, like where that cheekbone kind of curves. So I have it, okay? So that's really easy, right? And I take a little bit and I do just along the jaw, a little bit where I've got that crazy little double chin coming up. I do a little bit there. And then I take a little bit of a smaller brush. This is a Kat Von D brush, number 40. I just love the way this is shaped. And I do a slight line on either side of my nose. This doesn't have to be crazy complicated, you guys. It really doesn't. You don't want to put this line too far down on the nose. What you're trying to do is give the illusion of a slimmer nose. So you see where I'm placing that? And then you just want to like just tap, right? And then you kind of go a little bit to like a V there on the tip. And this is all going to be blended. So again, just nothing crazy. We don't like crazy, we like easy. And mind you, this is gonna take a little bit longer than it usually would because I'm babbling and talking to you guys. But I love babbling and talking to you guys, this is fun. And if you're watching this in a replay, thank you for watching in a replay. I appreciate it. I don't usually contour on my forehead because I have bangs, side-swept wispy bangs. Sometimes I wear them more full on. But if you have a longer forehead, what you do with the contour is you dip, right? And you would go at the top of your forehead here. This is the area that you kind of want to slim and bring down, because remember, contour on the face slims and brings down. When you put something light on your face, it brings it forward. It calls attention to it. Where dark colors recede and kind of take attention away from areas where you don't want focus. So if you've got a bigger nose that you're trying to slim with a little bit of contour, then that is where you place that darker color, where you want to kind of push in, recede, and take away. And then that highlight, that light comes forward. So in the beginning, you saw where I put the highlight, right? So then what I do, you guys, is I take this, I love this brush. It's a Jenny Patinkin. It's called a multi-blender. And what I do for my under eyes is I'll go back to my highlight palette, right? And I'll take the lightest color that I have and I'll mix it again with the, I'm sorry, I don't remember if I referenced the colors. Right now I'm White Peach and Aura. When I'm self-tanning, I do Amber and a combination of June. So I'll take a little bit of both and then just kind of place the color for my under eye concealing, where I'm going to be blending that a bit later. And cream is really nice because when you're using creams, you don't have to take, you don't have to rush to blend when you're using creams. Creams don't set until you set them. Whereas when you use powder, obviously, as soon as you place that powder, it's set, it's not moving, right? And if you're putting liquid down, once it dries, it sets, and you can't really play with it. Unless it's like a very creamy emollient type of foundation, you don't really have a lot of play time. So, okay, so now I'm just going to kind of stipple. And stippling is a patting and a blending motion all at the same time. So it's kind of like a dab and like a feather. Like, you don't want to make a really strong kind of grinding circular motion when you're blending. You just basically want to just like a light swirl, like a light swirl and blend, and then go back, and where you feel you need additional coverage, just kind of tap and blend, and keep going until you feel that you have achieved the level of coverage that you want, right? And I always start, especially with creams, start with light layers and just keep kind of tapping and blending, stippling, tapping and blending until you figure out, okay, I need more here, I need less here. And here's that contour, right? So I always blend the contour with an upward motion. I don't blend it with a downward motion because then you kind of are forcing a lot of that color down. And that really doesn't look good because you start getting that Skeletor hollow kind of right here, which is what you don't want. So I just kind of like pat and blend up, pat and up, and see how it just kind of starts blending in with your cream, right? And then kind of brushing those bangs aside and going up and stippling on the forehead. And it's really soothing, actually. I'm like always calm while I'm doing my makeup. I'm just kind of like, this is my me time, you know? I've got these crazy screaming 6-year-olds. And summer's coming to a close. Oh, crazy hair right there. I need a drink of my coffee here. I've got one more week of summer break, and then summer is coming to a close, you guys. And I'm a little bit sad, but honestly, I'm a little bit excited at the same time because I'll have more time to get some stuff done. And I'm particularly red under my nose here today. I don't know why, but I'm just gonna be lightly feathering and adding a little bit more. And I've got my side mirror here that I'm kind of working off of too, because it's a little hard to do your makeup on your phone. So I'm looking, and sometimes you can be blending so much that you kind of blend your contour away because it's a very workable, blendable makeup. So sometimes you're like, oh, wait, I want a little bit more drama. So, okay, just go back with your contour, right? Always up, always up. Finishing a little bit there under the chin, along that jawline. And what's nice about the contour is it gives foundation coverage as well. So you're getting coverage from the contour as well. It's not like you're building it on top of the makeup like you would with traditional contour. This is a totally new way of doing your makeup where it's like one layer is your highlight and your contour and all of that without you putting on a whole layer of foundation on first and then letting that set and getting that perfect and then going back over with your powder contour or your cream contour or whatever. And it makes it hard because if you're using traditional foundation, it dries and it sets, and then when you're going on top with your blush or your contour or your bronzer after that point, sometimes you move what you've applied and set before and it just turns out to be a big rigmarole mess and it's annoying. But with cream, it's awesome because you just like are working as you're going. Is that? That doesn't make sense. Working as you're going. I guess you're just plodding along until you want to set. So then let's set the nose a little bit. So, or let's blend the nose, I should say. So I'm blending and stippling and patting that highlight on the side, right? And then I've got I want to add a little bit more here. And then when I blend my contour, I don't blend down because that's gonna look weird and make it really thin looking. I'll just kind of dab my brush on my hand and I kind of just blend. Can you see what I'm doing there? I just kind of blend upward, if that makes sense. But don't blend so crazy that like you're bringing the two lines together that you've drawn, if that makes sense. But you just kind of feather it a little bit because you don't want to have a very discernible line, but you want to keep a little bit of that impression of what you drew. So hopefully that kind of makes sense what I'm doing. So I've got the contour, I've got my cream all over, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of sandstone. This is a lip and cheek. That's really pretty. It looks kind of like a reddy brownish red and looks kind of scary at first when you're looking at it. But what I do is I take on my finger, right, and I'll pop it. And here's a tip for blush for you guys, especially for mature ladies. You know how they always tell you in makeup tutorials or when you've had your makeup done, they say smile, and then you put your blush on the apples of your cheek. Well, that's okay when you're 18, but when you are older, when you're smiling, the apples of your cheek are raised, right? So you're putting your blush on the apples while you're smiling, but then when you're not smiling, your apples kind of fall, so your blush ends up being placed too low. So what you want to do is forget all that smile and then put your blush on business. You place your blush higher on your cheekbone than you would have when you're younger. So you saw where I kind of just popped and placed that blush. It's kind of on the top part of my cheekbone. Not so much the lower apple, it's on the top there. So I've placed it, and now I'm gonna just use my same side that I used my highlight colors, and I just kind of press and just blend that in. And you see how that lifted my face? It completely lifted my face because I've placed it on the top part of my cheekbone. I didn't place it here on that lower apple to drag my face down. I've placed it on the top of my cheekbone to really lift, okay? And this is just a really light application of blush because I'm probably just going to be doing a couple errands today and just mostly spending time with my family around the house, so I don't want like a crazy dramatic blush look, but the technique still applies no matter what color you're doing. Just go ahead and place it on that top part of your cheekbone. So I'm pretty happy with what I've got so far. Again, this is just like a really basic, kind of like a 10-minute makeup, and this would probably take me even less than 10 minutes if I didn't have a phone in front of my face and was babbling to you guys, but I want you guys to kind of see what I was doing. I totally just realized that one thing I did not tell you before I started putting on the makeup was if you are oily, a good idea or a good thing to do is to use a makeup primer or a makeup setting spray. They have so many setting sprays out there right now for makeup, and they're talking about, oh, this is a priming spray to put on before your makeup, and this is a setting spray to put on after your makeup. A lot of that's kind of garbage. The setting sprays and the priming sprays are usually the same type of ingredients. If you just get one that you like, it can usually double as both a priming spray and a makeup setting spray. Mascara makes a really great one that I do not have currently, but the one that I've been using is from Christopher Buckle. I got this off of QVC. It's called Power Lock Makeup Setting Spray. And you hear that little ball in there. It's kind of like an old school hairspray can. Oh, I can't talk today. But yeah, so what I didn't say to you guys is because it's like a hot, yucky Texas summer, what I would have done right after I was telling you about my SPF that was sitting on my skin for 20 minutes, let that dry down, and then I would have done a light spray all over my face with this Power Lock Makeup Setting Spray. And you don't want to hold the setting sprays too close. An arm's length is really what you want to do. So arm's length, and then a good kind of rule of thumb is if you're oily in your T-zone, just do like a T. Do a T and then do an X to kind of get the whole face. And you don't really need a ton. Like you don't want your face dripping. That's a little crazy. So, okay. So the only thing I didn't do was just kind of tap and blend and set my under eye. Oops, wait, I want to use my highlight palette. So I'm just adding a tiny little bit here of my mascara highlight under the eye as well. And obviously it goes without saying, I use this all over my face as concealer, as under eye concealer, as my highlight foundation, as my spot concealer. I mean, creams are pretty much, they're just life all over. Some of my clients have even used the mascara highlights as a light eyeshadow base, and you can definitely do that as well. So you want to kind of take all those little creases out before you set with your powder. And oh my gosh, I completely just realized that I did not bring my little blending sponge, and that's what I use to set my makeup with. I might have to just pop out really quick, pop out of the room and get it. But so yeah, so this is what I've done. Now, say if for example, you don't like powder and you don't typically use powder, well, you can stop here and you can use your setting spray to set if you like a little bit more of like a dewy complexion. So why don't we just do that? So I'm going to shake it up, spray in a T, and then like that X, like crisscross motion. And that takes a couple seconds to dry down, but that also really, really helps. And then I'm gonna show you a really quick little eyeshadow tip that I do with my contour. With my contour ash. Okay, so I've been using this Hard Candy eyeshadow primer. I really like it. I just put a little dab on my index finger there. And then I will take a flat eyeshadow brush. This one is from It Cosmetics. It's actually a smoothing concealer brush, but I like the shape and the size of it, so I use it for eyelid applications. And this is how I apply it all over the lid to just kind of lock in any shadow or cream products I put on my lid. And I don't really wear a lot of eyeshadow typically, especially as I've gotten older. I think it's just too much. For me, it's all about brows and lashes. I'm in the process of trying to grow my eyebrows out a little bit more. I want them fuller and thicker if I can get them fuller and thicker, because I think that that's a really youthful eye look. So we're gonna let that set. And then what I've been doing for my brows is I've been using, it's kind of upside down. This is from Glossier. I know that's kind of hard to see, I'm sorry. It's from Glossier, it's called Boy Brow, and my color is brunette. And I love this because this is the first kind of brow mascara type product that I've found that actually, to me, it deposits enough color to give me definition, and I don't have to go back in with a pencil. I really don't like eyebrow pencils lately. I don't know what it is. I just really find that they just kind of look yucky and artificial. So I'll just brush my brows up with this Boy Brow spoolie, and it deposits enough color that it gives me some definition. And then I'll take that tip and I'll just kind of, I'll take off a little bit of excess and I'll put it on my index finger, and I'll show you what I do with that later. And I'll just kind of turn it and then just kind of brush up here to give me a little bit of that definition. Right? And you can stop there if you like, or sometimes what I do is I'll take that excess that was on my finger and I'll take an eyebrow brush and I'll dab it. And then if you want a little more color and definition, go back and just give yourself a little bit where you want it. And it's really good. I think that when you start adding too much product to your brow, you just start kind of looking a little artificial looking, I guess you could say. I'm feeling like I really want to go get my little sponge, so I'll show you my sponge setting technique. So if you will bear with me for like, I don't know, 30 seconds, I'll be right back. Sorry guys, I'm back. Okay. I won't make that mistake again, I promise. So this is my beauty sponge and it's slightly damp. So then I'll take my powder, and right now I'm using RCMA No Color Powder. It's a very, very light translucent, and it comes in a bigger container. I've just decanted it into this smaller one. And what I'll do is I'll just basically take that damp blender and I will blot and stipple all over. And it's something about, I'm telling you, that damp beauty sponge. I've got to refill this. There's like nothing left in here. It's something about that damp beauty sponge that takes away all powdery looks and dryness. I can hear my crazies. Hey guys.
Oh.
Mommy's filming. I'll be right there, okay? He's like, ooh, you've got your camera on, Mama. What are you doing? Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. Like, I really need to refill this. There's like nothing in here, but you get the gist. So yeah, so I have lightly gone all over the face with this damp blending sponge. And I've set. So I'm getting the longevity without a powdery look. Let me just close the door really quick. My son left it open. Okay. Yeah, so, okay. Now, a lot of you guys have asked me about my Lashify lashes. I'm always talking about them. I'm posting pictures about them. This is the control kit. This is what you get when you first order from the system and are introduced to the system. You get your lash adhesives, or bonds, as we like to call them in the Lashify world. Sorry about that, didn't mean to blind you. And I got, this is called, hey buddy, can you give me a second?
Do you know where the low phone?
It's being charged, I think, in my bedroom.
Okay.
Okay. Can you close the door, please, son? He didn't hear me. So this is what's called the Wandom tool. Now this is what I use. So when I put my Lashify lashes on, they last about 3 to 5 days depending. And this Wandom tool is what you use to fuse your lashes in between when you're replacing them, and it kind of reactivates the bond and allows your lashes to wear longer. So what I do is, as you can see, I'm moving that wandum and I'm pressing. This is called fusing. And then look at that, my lashes are fused. Now these, let's see, it's Sunday. I applied these on Friday morning. So this is going on day 3. So I'm really happy about that. And this is the other side. Fusing. Isn't that great? I love these lashes, I really do, really do. And then, okay, now we're just gonna put a little bit of a liner. I don't really wear lip liner a lot lately, but this product I love. I've had it for a while. This is the Burberry Lip Color Contour in light number 2. It kind of looks like a really slim, kind of tiny lipstick, but I love it as a liner. Can you close my door, baby, please, all the way? Okay, and then the lipstick color that I'm using and loving right now is a serum lipstick from Doll 10. I get this off of QVC. Can you tell I love QVC? And this is like a really soft, pretty pink. Right? But I still need to show you the eye thing that I do during the day. Hold on, let me close the door. They keep opening the door. This is nuts. Okay. Can you please see?
I can't.
God. These kids are nuts. I'm telling you, they're freaking nuts. Okay. I think she just called him a pickle head, I heard. You are a pickle head. I don't know what that's supposed to be. But anywho, okay. So, so what I wanted to show you was that little trick I do with the contour. So I basically use the contour as a cream eyeshadow. So I did my eyelid primer, the hard candy eyeshadow primer. Can you see that? This is from Walmart. I think it's like $5 or $6. So I will take, you can even take, well, this is kind of big. I have another brush that is a detail hack brush with a smaller contour side, and you can do this. You can take your thin side of the contour and you can just lightly feather on your eyelid. And that will give you a really kind of light definition on the eye without a complicated eyeshadow routine, right? Like, how cute is that? And then you just kind of blend. Can you hear them yelling? Like, this is like insane. Like, everyone's yelling. So I better let you go before my house erupts into craziness, but thank you for watching. I so appreciate it. So this was a really quick highlight and contour and my quick little eyeshadow trick that I do. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I hope you enjoyed this. And one more thing before I go, I wanted to announce the winners of my July contest. I held a contest for my mascara customers, and the first prize was a full-size milk moisturizer, and the winner of that is Megan Orminsky. She is so wonderful, and she won the full-size milk moisturizer. And the second prize was $40 worth of free mascara makeup, and that goes to Gidget Johnston. So I will tag you guys. I don't know how to tag in a live, but I'll message you so you know that you are the winners. Congratulations, and I hope to have more contests in the future. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.